hockey fans. Welcome back to the Oilers Fanatic. A bunch of things to get through today, so let's get started. If this is your first visit to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing, and you can also follow along on Twitter and Instagram at Oilers Fanatic YT. First up, some PTO news. This happened a few days ago, but Tyler Ennis has signed a PTO with the Ottawa Senators. As we know, Ennis is a former Senator, and they really enjoyed having him in Ottawa, and I think he's a good fit there. A good veteran to work with all the young prospects they have. All the best to Tyler, and I'm sure we'll be hearing about a contract with the Senators very soon. Former Oiler Alex Chiarelli has signed a PTO with the Vancouver Canucks. I was hoping Alex was going to get an opportunity with someone. Glad to see he's getting that chance, and best of luck to him going forward. Another target Oilers fans wanted to see, Alex Galchenyuk, has signed a PTO with the Arizona Coyotes. Next up, the Oilers will be retiring Kevin Lowe's number 4 on November 5th when the Oilers play the New York Rangers. Lowe is very deserving of the honor. Some of his work as a GM aside, he's bled orange and blue, and his number should be hanging in the rafters. As a result of the retiring of number 4, Chris Russell will be switching to number 6, a number that was last worn by Adam Larson. Next up, the St. Louis Blues have announced that Peter Chiarelli, who has served as an advisor to GM Doug Armstrong, will become Vice President of Hockey Operations. Also, Ken Hitchcock, who has served as the Oilers' senior advisor and head coach, has joined the Blues as a coaching consultant. Chiarelli seems to be catching on in St. Louis. I wonder if he ever gets another shot as GM. Despite his struggles, he does have a Stanley Cup on his resume. Next up, in his new 32 Thoughts column, Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman reported the following. I don't think Edmonton is done in goal. That storyline sticks around for a while. Mike Smith will be there, but what happens around him? Where there's smoke, there is likely fire, and I think Ken Holland remains on the hunt for a replacement for Mikko Koskinen. How the Oilers start the season will be a major factor. If both Smith and Koskinen look solid, that pressure likely goes away. If the Oilers get off to a bad start, don't be surprised if we see Holland make a move in short order and be more willing to give up an asset to get something accomplished quickly. We've heard Dmitry Samorukov's name mentioned in the past as a possible trade chip. Let's see what happens. Next up, speaking on the Donnie and Dolly show in Vancouver, Ken Holland mentioned that he has Tyler Benson penciled in his starting lineup for the upcoming season. He still has to earn his spot, of course, but it's good to hear that Benson is being given strong consideration to be in the lineup this year. The Oilers have had him in the AHL for 3 years now, and Benson requires waivers to be sent back to Bakersfield. It's time to give him a shot, to see what he can do. Training camp has officially opened for the Oilers, and we now know the training camp roster. Just before we get to that, though, some big news items came out surrounding it. Ken Holland let us know the following this morning in a press conference. Goaltender Alex Stalock is unlikely to play this season due to a heart condition stemming from his COVID exposure last season. Really disappointing news for everyone involved. I personally really want to see Stalock compete for a job in camp. It looks like Stalock will be an Oiler who never dresses for a single game. Who knows, maybe things improve later in the year, but as Holland said, it's unlikely. Next up, Duncan Keith will miss the first week of training camp. He received the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine dose in the United States, but will now have to quarantine as a result for 1 week. Ideally, it would have been nicer if he could have got it done sooner, but at least he's only missing part of camp, and he shouldn't have any issues going forward. One player that will have issues going forward is Josh Archibald. Ken Holland confirmed on Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer that Josh is not vaccinated and will miss around 30 games due to having to quarantine when coming back into Canada and all other procedures surrounding COVID. The Oilers will be well positioned to cover for Archibald, though. PTO invite Colton Sevier can play his position, and if he's signed to an expected $750K cap hit, cover him at a cheaper price. Another player in the fourth line range that could cover him is Kyle Turris, who can play on his spot in the right wing. Lastly, Chris Russell will also be out for the first few days of camp, but it doesn't sound like it's anything too serious. You can check out a look at the training camp roster at the end of this video. It won't be the best view, obviously, so I would check it out more in detail at the Oilers website. That's all for today, guys. Thanks as always for checking out the channel and for all your support. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. Take care, guys.